Varus TK, that sort of style. And they did actually slap that down against 100 Thieves. That was exactly what FBI was playing, but maybe they feel that it is less repeatable. Now on EG's side, will they deny the Rakan, which is what CLG used to such great effect yesterday, or are they going to focus more on some of these solo lane picks? And it will be the GP, which I think also works. Oh, let's go!
Kled.
Kled for Finn. This is what made me a fan of this guy originally when he was in Europe. He was one of the only pros that was really playing much Kled. So he is very proficient on this. It's going to go to him. I would be shocked if it goes to Pobelter. Should be that Kled. This is that extra form of engage. He's also a very strong laner. Great into Lee Sin, by the way. You know, when you do get that second part of your hook, the bear trap on a rope, you pull him in, it applies the healing debuff. It makes it actually very difficult for Lee Sin in a lot of cases to take those extended fights. You do have to be careful about getting poked off your mount by the E, because then you will get executed likely before you can remount. But Kled is such a great snowball champion. Additional way in for the team. It is the Rakan. So the Kled ult is going to come out. That is going to give all the additional move speed to Rakan, which makes the entrance even easier. Vi piling on top. Galio piling on top. This is even more go in than the comp from yesterday. But the Xayah pick that we had talked about, you called that out as a great defensive option. I am totally on board. I think that is one that maybe was overlooked a little bit by CLG. It is probably one of, if not the best champs into this style of team, right? When that engage comes in, you time the ultimate right, the feathers come out, you are kiting back, Rell is there with the counter engage, because guess what happens when 4 champions that are all melee look to engage? They stack up. You get CC'd up by the Rell, the feathers get pulled through after, and that is the angle that EG is looking for. Of course, if you fail that timing, if you use the ulti too early or too late, you're going to get locked up, you're going to get burst down, and the composition can definitely fall apart at that point. So, CLG, clear win conditions. We'll see if they can execute 2 days in a row.
I want to see if they can make that one happen. It'd be cool to see the rise late in the year. And to add more context to the Xayah conversation, because, champ I play a lot, and, I like the lane a lot. Compared to someone like Ezreal, like, you can arcade shift back when Vi comes at you, but Vi still landed the ultimate. Like, you're still going to be stunned, and then Galio's coming up to the top. Like, you just build space, but that thing still lands. Xayah actually just immunes the Vi ult, and you just run away, and nothing hits you at all. And so, in some ways, she is obviously on a 2.5-minute cooldown in some cases, but the safest of the AD carries. The fights are far apart. You're no longer the target. And against quad melee, roughly, like, you're going to get a lot done there, so this can look very good.
It absolutely can. And where it can sometimes fall apart is obviously you get the one shot at the ultimate, so if it's not timed perfectly, then you don't really have any additional recourse. Whereas a late game Ezreal, you hit 1Q, you're shifting again, right? You're out of there. So we'll see if CLG can find the multiple angles, because I do think if you just run straight at the Xayah, it's so easy to get that high value blade color, ult up, pull the feathers through, root up multiple members. But if you have the kind of engage where Kled is coming from one side, from behind you, and Vi is coming from the front with the Galio over top, Rakan is following up on that, there becomes so many forms of CC that it's very difficult to actually deal with. And that's what 100 Thieves struggled with, right? They had Varus, and it's like, okay, Varus OP, you got Tahm Kench, you're safe from engage, but guess what? They were re-engaging like 4 times. The Vi would ult, Tahm Kench would eat him, but then over top comes Rakan, over top comes Galio, and there just wasn't enough safety there. So, CLG is just really trying to slam it home here by over-indexing and engage.
Yes. One thing I want to point out mechanically as well as we get into the game is Ignar's Rell, I think, is actually well positioned here. Keep in mind, Rell Q is a shield breaker, and Kled, Vi, and Rakan all have generic shields that are popped by Rell Q. So if Ignar holds that one for good time, here's 400 damage for free. True damage. There we go. We did it. And that's going to feel really good in some cases.
The exhaust, I think, is critical for him, too. I'd also note that this is one of the supports that builds very easily into Locket, right? Which I think is so high value when you have these kind of melee versus melee style teams, right? There's 4 melee champions essentially on both sides. Rakan is basically melee.
Yes.
And that is that situation where you just get insane Locket value almost every time. If you get the Locket on all 5, everyone is scrapping. You're going to get that. And these are the trades that you're going to see Kled looking for. You hit the bear trap on the rope. You need to get the second part. If you only hit Q1, you don't actually get the activation where you pull back. You get very little of the damage. You'll also see a lot of Kled players play really aggressively as they're approaching level 2 because they want to fight before there is the chance of actually getting burst down. You want to fight at the early levels, get a remount, trade heavily, and you can see he's willing to do that. So likely what he'll do is you can watch his skill points. He actually won't skill up anything, and then when he gets the scrap with Lee Sin, he'll immediately skill up his W, which essentially gives you a one-time instant activation, and he's looking for the instant remount.
Auto. Last bonk?
Yep, got it.
Okay, there we go. And this fight's not going to be easy. Impact re-dismounts. He flashed over the Q.
Oh!
No! He predicted him to flash. He didn't. And Finn, no! He throws away the first blood.
Oh, that hurts so much. Kled is such a snowball champion. He played it all perfectly and then missed the Q there. Holding on to the W, getting the remount. When Impact took that, I thought that was for sure first blood for Finn because those are the situations that if you die now, actually just ult 4.
Oh no, he's going to be slowed. Svenskeren can land the W. Does not. Okay, gets just enough distance that the Xin Zhao gank doesn't come through.
But the wave is doomed. You're actually so screwed now. And now he gets dismounted, you back up, you know that Svenskeren could still be here, and your game is now not fun forever as the Kled because you died solo, jungler came top right after the TP, the wave is frozen, and we gotta watch this one more time. When you take that in, he lands the Q, I think this is for sure over. Oh, yeah, it's the flash forward. I'm not sure if he was looking to anticipate the flash from Impact or he was trying to flash point blank and get that Q where you do it from exactly melee range and even if he flashes, you still probably hit. Either way, Finn going for the big play there does miscalculate, unfortunately for him, gives over first blood. Impact gets a great buy. He gets nothing. The wave is frozen on him, so you got no farm. You're going to be down in CS, and this is a champion that has to play aggressive, right? You got to be fighting and scrapping and looking for remounts, and when you're behind, you just die before you remount, and that's the biggest problem.
All right, gets the yoink back, gets all 4 attacks, doesn't feel too bad. Impact does not want to jump back into a stacked minion wave. He would lose the trade. Q is just not going to be enough damage for a rank 1. So it will allow the wave to push in.
Look
of course,
at the farm.
Yeah, Xin Zhao has to go and get his stuff. Yes, obviously the farm looks really horrible. Nice root comes through. Damage on a WildTurtle. Smoothie not going to find any Q healing just yet. Nice sidestep there by Ignar, and they continue fighting the bottom side. Knockup going to be found here. The taunt as well. Pretty good damage. Q and an auto and Jiizuke. Going to have to walk away from POB.
Yep, sent running there. Let's see how much this farm Impact can get. He's got about a full wave to
that turret shot.
Turret shot. He takes Q.
Follow. In E almost kills him. It's close. The Q backwards, the flash away. He rebounds. Let's go. Finn gets vindication. Jiizuke.
He can win this.
You're level 5 Akali. That's not too deadly. Here comes Galio. Does he have the taunt? Does he have the taunt? He's going to follow. He's going to have the backwards E. The clap down. Finn sets it up. Pobelter knocks it down. CLG are back.
It is madness in the top lane, Phreak, and that is where Kled will thrive. He gets the remount this time. Impact thinking he would be able to burst him down, and honestly, I thought he was going to be able to too when he hit that Q, but the Kled gets the remount. Pobelter TP's back in, and he's able to arrive as well. So let's watch this one more time. When the turret does actually land that shot, you think he's going in for sure, but the Q back there and just didn't quite have enough damage. You know, the execute damage wasn't there. Finn kites back towards his minions. The minion damage helped a lot. He gets the autos in, lands the Q. Jiizuke then flashing out after the shuriken flip, trying to create as much distance as possible, but just a clean combo there from Pobelter. TP's in, gets a solo kill, flashes out. It's a mid lane solo kill, but it's in top lane.
Yeah, it's nice. So all right, we got to take stock of what's happening top lane, because, yeah, keep in mind,
is happening.
Those champions are both 1-1-0, and it's still a 16 CS lead for Impact. In my mind, it feels like Finn's winning. He's objectively not.
Yeah.
So let's keep that one in check, but it's exciting regardless.
And he's got more to farm, so it's not as doomed as it was. It was nearly 30 CS to like 12, right? So it was a lot worse. He got a kill back, and now you have some hope, right? Of course, you have to be very careful, especially post-6. It's much easier to execute a Kled before he gets the remount there, especially if you get poked down. So we'll see how this does play out. Impact may start to play this a little bit more defensive. Finn is level 6 as well, but of course your ultimate is more about the utility and less about the combat. You do get the miniature shield. When you ult in, you can try to use that to actually interrupt certain animations and things like that. But generally speaking, you get a lot more out of the combat ability of your ultimate as Lee Sin.
All right, well, both junglers have been quietly farming. Both bot lane has been quietly farming. They've been chilling, just playing League of Legends for the most part. And all the solo laners getting all the fun in this game, but equal farm for the Zhao and the Vi.
One thing I will say is if you... Oh, yeah. You gotta get out of there. I mean, if you call up your jungler now, like, if Impact is pushing, it is a really easy lane gank for a jungler when you're playing with a Kled, right? You know, Vi doesn't need to do any clever pathing. You literally just walk down the lane, Kled ults towards the Lee Sin in the long lane. When he's pushed, you get the insane move speed from following along that ulti, and it's generally a pretty easy kill when Vi has her ult herself. So Impact gonna have to be really careful about the overpush. But of course, you are worried about Xin being there, right? If you hard commit into that and Svenskeren is there, maybe the Kled gets burst down before Broxah can really get involved.
Alrighty, Finn gets to kill a control ward. I would say one of the most satisfying things of playing top lane is putting in the lane, just killing the control ward, being like, I got an extra minion worth of farm. You spent 75 on that. Like, this is 4 CS right now I just got from you, buddy. And you're like, my jungler, could he come back top lane? You don't know anymore.
See, it's really satisfying when the jungler comes, but they never do.
I know.
Yeah.
I killed his ward. Nah, I got
There's
a Herald
no vision.
fight.
It's fully clear.
I need Herald.
He's got no flash.
Bot scuttles up.
Wolves are
right.
up. Sorry.
Yeah.
See you at Dragon. If you don't TP, I'm going to question mark you.
Facts. All right, well, time to go. Kled ult. Rakan finds a knockup. Svenskeren is left alone. He flashes, but Kled finds the follow. Pobelter gets his second kill of the game, and CLG make it look easy.
Kled. I love watching this champion play. So much fun. They find the engage there. EG shows up to scrap, but they weren't all together. So CLG is just going to hit the go button immediately. And you have got to be so careful as the EG side because there's so many engage tools. And CLG is really playing with this kind of killer instinct. They are ready to go immediately. So if you are not ready to go, if you are not organized in a straight up 5-man squad, then it is so dangerous. And CLG showing how dangerous it can be. They get the kill, they get the Herald. And now, at this point, you know, top lane is going to be pretty much even. Off that assist, you're only down a few farm. Finn should be pretty much dead even in gold up on that top side. You have 2 kills for Pobelter. You know, bot lane is actually ahead as well. And you've still got the Herald here to be dropped. So if Broxah could get a kill into a Herald and grab a tower, this game is starting to get really, really dangerous for EG. You know, it is a 1,000 gold lead now, but if they can extend that to around 2K with a kill and a tower, that would be huge for CLG.
Ignar sees the Galio, says, I can't go for that ward anymore. If he's in the brush, I'm dead. So never know if Rakan's there either. But it's going to be gold handed to WildTurtle. He got the first plate by himself. He will guaranteed share in the next couple. So that's 320 gold toward WildTurtle. Doesn't need to walk up, but obviously he can. But he had touched it recently, so, you know, the range wasn't going to be important there. Bot lane turret, though, dangerously low. That's an important thing to look at. CLG already got the first dragon. They're looking good. Unlucky, you missed the cannon. Whatever. Moving on.
Put it up.
Yep.
Let's put it in the vote.
Yeah.
Get me out.
Someone DC so I can vote at 12 instead of 15. All right, I just need that. I need to get outs faster. I don't care that my top laner is doing well now and that my mid laner has 2 kills. I missed cannon. This game can't be played.
Exactly. It's literally unplayable. There's nothing you could do at this point. So no comeback mechanics available after that one for Turtle. We'll see if the rest of his team can make up for his dire
Drag
errors
his
on the bot
lifeless
side.
corpse over the finish line. Gone are the days of your quadra kills in finals. You'd be lucky to make playoffs with play like that.
Your only job as an ADC is to get cannons. That's it.
I mean, that's why you need a relic shield support. Blame Smoothie. He wasn't there.
Where were you?
Where was Smoothie?
How could you roam like that?
He got a ward kill. I don't care about wards. Last hit my cannon, Smoothie.
Betrayed.
Do your job.
All right, CLG down on the bottom side using this bot lane prio. They have mid lanes winning as well. We have seen the beneficial trade showcased many times for Pobelter. I really think that Akali into Galio is just a terrible matchup. You've got to outplay so hard because of the AoE CC that Galio does bring. So, you know, as a result, Pobelter has played it well, has gotten kills across the map, and has just an easier job to execute on in the team fights. CLG also got 2 very early dragons, right? We're 11:40 in, there are 2 drags. Yeah. It's not like the last game where we saw where the first dragon was like 14 minutes. So, you know, they are on pace for an exceptionally fast soul, and they have so many tools to engage. So as long as they keep ahead of the curve here, they set up vision around these dragons, they are going to show up every single time and make EG come to contest. And when they do, they're going to engage.
And it's going to look good because CLG have gold in the right places. They'll be the first to Mythic down in bot lane. Almost certainly, if Turtle can find the right recall timing, get the second most gold in the game. Pobelter has the most gold in the game, so love to see the Galio power spikes there as well. Looks like it's towards the Rocket Belt build, which is by far the most common. But we've seen other options. You can still play tank Galio, for example. Not this case, though, and for good reason. Yeah, knocks down the wave, has enough AP, by the way, with the major components plus the 2 starting items. Actually can one-shot cast minions at level 9, so at least for now, he's going to have that extra bit of wave control. Jiizuke just, less hitting under turret. Now, less hitting well, right? He's within 1 CS in a difficult-to-play matchup, but it's always Pobelter who's able to move first.
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of like, what are you going to be able to get done in the team fight, right? There's so much CC between Smoothie with the ulti charming you up when you're in the Shroud, getting taunted out of the Shroud. And when you get taunted in the Shroud, your character then goes to attack and you reveal and you just die, right? Yeah. So it's so difficult. You've got to use stasis incredibly well. You've got to use the shuriken flip or something to actually dodge out of the taunt. And if you can do it, you can definitely make it work, but it is a very, very difficult job to actually get into the backline because you've got exactly 1 target as the Akali here. You can go for WildTurtle, and that's pretty much the only thing you want to be looking for in a 5v5, and there's just so much CC and so much scrapping power between you and him.
Turtle, maybe he shared 2 plates with the Rift Herald from Broxah. Every other shred of gold from that turret all went onto WildTurtle. They have been winning bot lane by so much down here in a lane that we know has been uninteractive because the jungle's been busy looking at top lane. The mid laner's been looking at top lane. And they just straight up smashed the 2-on-2 by over 1,300 gold.
Yeah, I mean, he's 1,500 plus ahead, I think, at this point. Already has the Kraken Slayer completed. Pretty ridiculous lead here. Double Gore Drinkers coming through, though, for EG, so they're getting their completions. The Kraken Slayer coming through for Danny as well, so of course he is behind the tier 2 boots, the additional longswords. Broxah moving up towards this top side, though. The Herald will be up again here relatively soon, but still got some time, and I think he's more looking to find a play as you have Smoothie up here also. See if he can get into the jungle, find anyone in rotation, maybe find the jungler to actually look for.
Nice Friars Women to make sure you know what EG are up to. And you're like, yep, we see all your champions. Your wards are gone. No big deal. We've pulled Turtle topside. Okay, the plates are gone, so I can't farm those, but it means the turret's a lot squishier, so maybe we make that one happen instead. And it looks like, yeah, shot's going to come out. Second Rift Herald spawns pretty much as early as it could have. And, well, it won't be the most deadly Herald because it will be a fairly early one, but CLG likely have all the control to claim that one as well and keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and I just like them invading for these buffs, right? Just take away areas of the map from EG. You're farming away that blue buff. You're getting that onto Pobelter. Now you're going over towards the Herald. EG is really having to respect the fact that they are both behind, and there are so many engaged tools on CLG, so you've got to be really, really careful on the EG side about where you actually move. Anywhere you go on the map, you've pretty much got to be willing to scrap or you can't go there. And that is a really tough spot for EG to be playing from right now.
Watching Broxah just do some light PvE mechanics. Basically, if you run around clockwise or Q through, you dodge the big AoE swipe. And yeah, not a problem. Solos it, thanks to his team having the rest of the control. Finn playing pretty aggressively into Impact, but now Impact fighting back. Knew for a while CLG was all top side, but really gets some good damage here. Not even yoinked back and leaves Finn at there's 1 bit of health, which means now, if the fight starts again, you can get both halves of Q, you can get the kick, and you do the rest of the health bar.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that Impact played that really well. When Finn missed his first Q there, then you just go forward. There's no way that Finn is actually going to be able to fight this out with all of the self-heal that Lee Sin has if you don't actually land that Q, and it's so much of your damage plus the mitigation of the healing there. So just kind of piling in, and then as soon as the second Q does land, not allowing Finn to actually tether that as he dismounts to try to look for a remount, just jumps back, knows he has the pressure, will take that little bit of a push he gets, and use that to try to control around this dragon side.
Yep.
This is going to be the play here. Remember, CLG have gotten the first 2 very, very early. It is Finn up towards that top side, but he does have TP. There's not any great wards for him, though, as the observers are highlighting. There are these ones in the river, but there's no sort of like deep TP flank he could look for. Smoothie is sneaking around, though. They're going to go over this fight here. Will Finn TP?
If you're going, go now. TP already in for all of EG. CLG saying screw it.
Oh, they're going to
give him the dragon, take top lane outer. No, they TP in late. They don't finish top lane outer. They'll be there almost in time. Engage comes in for Ignar. Huge damage comes in. Vi has been and deleted. How about what's next? Ignar's low, but he lives. Second kill comes in for Danny. Pushing into the back line, Finn gets executed now as well. Evil Geniuses slap this fight easily, 3-4-0.
Smoothie was nowhere to be found there. The TP came in way late from Finn, but then the bigger problem was honestly, Smoothie was on a roundabout. He was going for a deep flank, and EG, I'm not sure if they saw him or just kind of anticipated that he would be over on that bottom side, but when we get the replay, we can watch where he was going. Like, the fight was over before he even got there. And when you're missing the Rakan, the additional components of CC, it's so important to be able to overlap there. So we can watch this. Look at Smoothie right here on your minimap. Yeah, he was actually pinged on. So they saw him, and look at when he arrives, right? The fight is over. Multiple people are already dead, and actually a fail flash into the wall there to add insult to injury. So just really poor execution on this one from Smoothie. EG may have seen him with this pink ward that's actually still there. You know, this ward may have actually spotted him out as he walked down below that. But unfortunately for CLG, they got punished big time for that. And when you're playing these compositions that are like hardcore 5v5, you've got to be together. Your engages have got to be on point. This time it just straight up wasn't.
Smoothie can't even get revenge on the ward. He fought it. Ignar puts a new one down. Not even the gold earned. So cannot catch a break, sadly, on the CLG support side. Gold is still in CLG's favor, but you got to feel EG averted a crisis with the fact that they got 3 unanswered kills, or at least 2 of them, 2-1, or 3-1, I should say. And then now they can start pushing into the top side. They got that dragon as well, so no easy Infernal Soul, no early Infernal Soul, and they can now push in top lane outer for some decent damage.
Yeah, that's the critical thing for me, is that they actually stopped the snowball of the dragons here. CLG had that 3rd dragon already. You have such easy go buttons, and when you're playing from ahead, it's very difficult to deal with the added damage of the Infernal Soul. CLG, though, will do a good job, continue to push this gold lead here forward, knocking down the last of the outer turrets, and about 2,000 ahead, not bad at all.
Sure, yeah, they are the ones in the lead. Finn is down CS top side, but that's not going to be a huge problem. Lee Sin, not the biggest glutton for gold, and neither really is Kled. Obviously, they scale, but it's not the same as looking at a bot lane CS difference where, hey, it's kind of more important if Tristana is ahead of Xayah than if Lee Sin is ahead of Kled. So yeah, even the allocation of resources, you got to favor CLG some. 8,800 gold still plus 1,500 on Turtle side, and that's after Danny got a kill in that team fight. So yes, still doing excellent on this Tristana. Top lane fight continues now as, once again, Impact puts Finn low. The ulti is shorted, and Impact can walk away from it. Nice sidestep of the bear trap, and cooldown's missing for Finn. Now, probably not fighting over Baron too soon, and it will be back up for Dragon.
Yeah, I think what Finn was trying to do was actually preempt the safeguard back. So he hit the Q, and he's trying to ult in to actually keep the tether, knowing that Impact will jump back, because that is the trade pattern that Impact has been going for every single time. He's been going forward, the tether comes out, he jumps back, then he re-engages, but in goes CLG!
Is in, hard engage over the top, pretty decent damage, but Ignar stays alive, and Svenskeren wants right back in, finds a stun, gets Broxah for some damage. Ignar dropped low, but Pobelter cannot kill him. Finn forced to dismount now, still in the fight against the Akali, flashes the R2, Galio, sidestep! Finn could not have played that one better, and it delivers the kill. However, look for Danny. Danny's got damage in. Jiizuke's staying alive. He gets 1, looking for 2, can't find the shots, but what a close battle, I believe. 2-2 overall.
Damn, that was crazy. Finn with the sidestep, plus the magic damage shield, the passive from the Galio coming through, keeping the Kled alive. But it is Danny who gets up on top of Turtle, and Turtle just gets absolutely roasted. So here it is one more time, the initial engage. TP's coming through here. Broxah kiting back. You can see that Pobelter is getting pushed back by Danny, getting all that damage out. Danny positioning very, very well here. And then on this top side, watch Finn. Flashes the R2, then the magic damage shield keeps him alive, sidesteps the Q. Turtle jumps in here for impact, but gets kicked back straight into Danny. He would have needed to flash immediately to try to get out of there. He did have the flash available, but obviously didn't have the rocket jump. Could have used a buster shot, had to react quicker, but that was really nice from Impact, putting him into the waiting arms of Danny, and Danny just had great positioning, and you can see the payoff. I mean, look at how much damage he got done. As CLG tried to pile into him, he kited back into the corridor, which just makes it so hard to keep that chase forward. When you're playing a melee champion and you're running past Xayah feathers, you know you are going to get roasted, and Danny really playing that one well. EG trying to set up for this next fight here.
Ignar leading the charge, has Aftershock, so he's very tanky, very hard to knock down.
Scrapping in bot.
Yeah, he's like the one target you don't want to go for. As you mentioned, top laners are battling, level lead for impact, sidesteps the Sonic Wave, and Finn not going to get too much more done as the second dragon of EG is spawning now. They own the river. Okay, the Scuttle helps a bit, but does CLG take the fight? If Ignar's in the front, so you don't burn him down fast enough, I think, realistically.
Yeah, Finn is coming group with the team. I guess he doesn't want to actually flank with the ulti, knowing that Lee Sin would just mark him, and then EG could actually turn on him and try to burst him down. So he's going to group up with the team. We'll see if they do want to try to start this one up. CLG
Galio
desperately want this dragon. Okay. Galio does have ulti to join.
Here comes the play. Charmer the top. Galio there as well. Big damage. Ignar knocked in the air. They do kill him. And Turtle is alive, untouched, with a double kill. Svenskeren flashes. Rocket jump to chase. Triple for Turtle. Looking for the quadra. It's going to be a double instead. Oh my gosh. He gets the triple. Finn helps it out, but it's Broxah who smite steals the dragon, who claims the last kill, and it's a 4-0 team fight for CLG, and it's time to run to the Baron.
They're gonna get so much off of this, and CLG, with the confidence to engage on Ignar, of all people there. The Aftershock was so delayed because Broxah hits him with the ult, they land the CC on Ignar, he eventually got the Aftershock proc, but it was so late that he was pretty much already dead right off the bat. I didn't catch exactly what happened to Danny, who went down in a hurry, but Turtle was free firing. CLG gets so much from that. They're now at soul point, nearly 5,000 head. Let's watch this one more time. I've got to watch Danny and actually see what happened to him in this fight, because when he goes down, you really don't have much of a hope anymore. And it's just Finn getting into the back line onto him, pulling him back with the rope. He's just stacked up on top of, and you know, Danny just wasn't in a position to really get a lot of damage out. His front line was burst down almost immediately. The CC coming through from CLG was impeccable. Vi goes in, you lock him up with the Galio to follow up, and Danny just really couldn't return fire there, while WildTurtle was going nuts. He was free-firing that entire fight, getting maximum value, even able to follow Svenskeren over the wall, killing off the jungler, secures the Baron for yourselves, and now the Tristana is so ahead. I mean, that's a full IE done. More than 2,000 gold up on Danny, and this Tristana is going to be impossible to deal with. If you cannot get that back line, somehow kick him in or do something, Turtle's just going to shred your front line.
He is, and he's been doing so pretty nicely. Love this build. It's, you know, the highest damage build you can realistically do for Tristana. He's ahead of the curve. The only armor items bought are up-plated steel caps and a cloth armor. I guess there's 2 steel caps now. Sinjao has one, but like, yep, this is the build. If you're ahead of the curve, love it. You know, dodge Lord Dominic's, buy that one later if at all. Just make sure all of your target selection is going to look good. And he's playing it safely though. Right now, he doesn't have the real control to go for any more than pushing in the wave slowly.
And I really like the build from Pobelter, actually. You know, the fact that Pobelter goes for Zhonya's second, it's about playmaking, then picks up the Oblivion Orb. It's not about maximizing your damage here, right? It's about mitigating your opponent's options, and I think his build does that well. He can throw himself into the back line, zone Danny out, then if Danny is looking for the Blade Caller there, you pop the Zhonyas, you buy time, he still can't try to fight past you, and the Oblivion Orb to actually help deal with that 3-man kind of squad on the front line of the Akali, the Lee Sin, and the Xin, who all have a fair bit of healing there. Riftmaker, double Gore Drinker, Oblivion Orb is going to get a lot of value.
And mid lane now under fire. Wherever Turtle goes, turrets fall. I believe he's been the core component of all 5 turret kills for CLG at this point in the game. Remains very rich. It still is ultimately going to rely on him. He is the primary damage source. Divine Sunderer into Randuin's Omen. It is going tank here for Broxah, as you mentioned. Zhonya's second. We're going tanky for Pobelter. Finn, you know, down farm, lowest CS of any laner on any team, rivaling that of junglers. He is not the primary threat either. He can solo Danny. You know, class-wise, yeah, he's going to be good into Xayah. But it is about WildTurtle every time in these fights.
Absolutely. And likewise, it's really about Danny on the other side. Despite the fact that he is very far behind, he has got to have a great fight to come back, right? And he's working towards Lord Dominic's. Once he gets that, that is going to help him a lot. There's a fair bit of armor on the other side when you're looking at the Randuins on Broxah, who is kind of that front liner, the Zhonyas as well. Some steel caps coming through. But I mean, if they can hold on, oh, Ignar going to get picked.
Hey, he's going to be knocked into the air. That's an easy target from Vi. Yeah! It's easy. Good job, Broxah, to set it up. Good job, WildTurtle, to get the gold claimed 6-1-1. And it's time for bottom lane now. Hey, Jiizuke, out you go.
I mean, the prayer for EG is you just turtle up, you farm up on the Xayah, you get to IE. And if you can get to IE plus your Lord Doms, then you can really shred through these people, but that is so far away. You know, he is got to get a ridiculous amount of gold in these next minutes to try to even get there realistically. And CLG are not going to give him time, right? They're going to force you to fight at the Infernal Soul point here. That is in 40 seconds. So at best, you maybe farm up an elixir or something like that. You try to maximize your damage for this fight, and you hope that you can have that perfect setup, because for now, it is all CLG vision. You know, you look at the mini-map here, and it is just this line across the map. You know, this is all CLG area. There's really nothing out there for EG, and they're going to try to move into this darkness, but you know there are so many engage options for CLG
Dragon Soul.
that it's tough to face check.
But you can't give Dragon Soul away. It gets worse from here. You
Absolutely.
don't have better options than trying, so try they will. It's still going to be tough, though. Evil geniuses walk their way in. Impact going to play on the side. Doesn't find anyone in Tribrush with the Sonic Wave. They're going to start Dragon. Broxah was waiting, though. Here comes Sven. He's going to find Svenskeren. Knockup comes in. Ignar gets deleted. The kickback nearly kills Smoothie, but not just yet. The front lines, how long do they even last? The knockup of the turtle doesn't matter. Stopwatch buys some time. He waits for the kill, and he finds the kill. Flash out for the front line.
Turtle's in.
Jumps right in, then he finds that next kill. Danny's days are numbered, and Danny's gonna die. A TP goes to the bottom lane. Finn trying to get everything all at once. Can Smoothie stop the recall? He will. Jiizuke gonna jump away and stay alive. But look, there's only 2 members of EG alive, or really even just one with Jiizuke. The respawns are coming in soon. But meanwhile, the bottom inhibitor, that's being attacked. The TP out. That's gonna be stopped. TP is burned, and they've got to wait for the respawns now. 10 seconds the minimum.
Oh.
Yeah, the kill comes in. Maybe more than Smoothie had to do. But still, Dragon Soul is on, and the bottom inhibitor is dead, and Baron's up in 40 seconds.
Man, I am so impressed with the target selection here from CLG. Just actually recognizing that they are ahead enough that they can just kill Ignar before he can engage. And without the Ignar engage to set things up, EG doesn't really have any ability to make things happen in this fight. They're counting on this AoE CC, and Ignar is just getting roasted. I mean, it normally would feel kind of troll to actually be violating the support past the carry, but look at this. Look how fast he dies. WildTurtle jumps in on his head. The CC is there to follow up from Smoothie, and they're just instantaneously killing off the Rell to start every single fight. The front line dies, everything goes into disarray, and Turtle, as a result, is unchecked. He's able to jump forward, find multiple kills in these fights, and CLG are playing with no fear. You have got to love it if you're watching this as a CLG fan. Back-to-back days, they're having really great games here. They have the Soul, they have the Bear, they're 8K ahead, and they're looking for blood.
Jiizuke is going to be found. Oh, that doesn't get vision. Okay, doesn't track a Fog of War champ, or held off to the side long enough that he wasn't going to be in the target selection, so is able to live. Good job with the ulti to get even farther out, but now it's just wave clear. It's slowly trying to get a bit more gold and hope and pray that you win a tower dive.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so tough from this position. Bad goes to worse as Turtle now, that key target, has a stopwatch even. The death cap's almost done for Pobelter. They are getting so far ahead here, and they are looking to threaten. Pobelter's pushing in mid, but he has the ulti to join, and will be able to do so very easily. Once that mid wave gets to that turret, things get really hard for EG because you have to ping pong back and forth. The problem is that the waves are not actually synced up right now. You know, if you look at the minimap here, you know, this wave is about here. The next wave is coming in here. So they really need to try to slow push and actually sync up these waves so they're crashing at the same time. And that is where EG cannot actually answer on both sides. And that is why, look at CLG, they're not even autoing these minions. They're only letting their minions on the top side push themselves while Pobelter shoves mid as fast as possible.
And Impact might just be caught out, kicks back, but that's Vi in range. That's Impact living, take it, take the Q, nearly kills him. Can keep going, but the Gore Drinker keeps Impact healthy enough that there's no further punishment. Still, though, the health bars get low. But top, not going fast enough. Finn attacking it down, mid being pushed in, but mid's out of minions. So EG will continue to hold the line.
And credit to Impact, though he does give up the flash, he actually stopped them from syncing up those waves, right? And that does make things a lot easier for them to defend. But now Smoothie on the wraparound. They have a wave in bot. They have the wave in mid. So the inhibitor will be theirs. At the very least, the inhibitor tower. The Baron buff still has a minute left on it. So I do want to see them try to push forward and knock down an inhibitor here. But Galio will return. He has the death cap.
Okay, this is probably signaling they're really trying to push the game through. Smoothie actually the one helping bot
Triple
to push
waves.
in. Yes, top manicured properly here as well. So bot will threaten the Nexus. Top's going to threaten the inhibitor turret, and mid threatens the inhibitor itself. Synced up nicely. Good job, CLG. Jiizuke pulling the minions and staying alive. Mid lane not under enough fire. CLG not willing to push in any farther as the feathers are on the ground and they're afraid of Blade Caller. Turtle only puts in a couple of autos. Shrelia's pop. Smoothie wants to go in, finds the charm, finds a knockup. Ignar dives in. Big damage on a Broxah, and Vi is gone. Stun comes across, but Rell is traded back out. Danny barely alive, running away. Gonna stay up, though, as Svenskeren is low. Blade Caller finds not a whole lot. Zhao drops the chase in for Finn. That's gonna be an easy fight onto Danny at the very end and knocks him down. So now it's suddenly just Jiizuke against the world, and you can't get a whole lot done. The ace comes through, and CLG win that fight 5-1. It was a rough couple of weeks, but back-to-back wins on Vi for CLG. They have got to feel good about turning this year around.
They are putting the league on notice. CLG is here to play this weekend. They got the Vi back-to-back games, the Galio, the Rakan, the core of this composition here, all about the hard engage, and I love the confidence that they are showing. To me, it's more about the fact that they're playing with this killer instinct, that they are not hesitating at all to go in. When one of these teams actually shows up and is even a foot too far forward, they're immediately engaging. They're not allowing their opponents time to actually set up their battle lines, to properly manicure the fight, and CLG is just playing with a confidence that we haven't seen from them in a really long time.
And it's impressive to see, because I know it's so easy to feel defeated when you lose and lose and lose, then you almost win and still lose. And you're like, we can't do a single thing right. But whoever set up the practice plans last week, if that's Galen, formerly Moon, whoever else it is on CLG setting it up, new week for CLG. And okay, yes, they picked up from where they were before. We're like, they had nearly beat Cloud9. So like, you know, the tools were clearly there. But to get the rest of the way over and be convincing against 100 Thieves, and pretty convincing here against EG as well. Like, double thumbs up, really, really well done. This week of practice clearly has paid off so far for CLG.
Absolutely. And the question for me now is going to be how many other looks do you have, right? Because I love the draft. I love that you're giving them simple, easy to play compositions. So many forms of engage. It's clearly about overloading the back line. This wasn't just 2 forms of engage. This is like 4 good forms of engage, right? You have Galio, you have Rakan, you have Kled, you have Vi. Even the Tristana can follow that up. Now, what happens when tomorrow Galio is banned and Vi is banned, right? You know, can they make this work with other champions? Do they need that core to really facilitate this? Or will they have other looks? Will it be like Malphite and Alistar and whatever? Because right now, I think this looks amazing, but I also think that because the success has been so tightly tied to this core 3 champions of Vi, Galio, and Rakan, I still need to see what they can give us once that's taken away.
Right. What happens when on, you know, your first draft on red side, you just take Galio support and you're like, cool, we took one from you and we have a good counter engage champ, so when you dive in, so we can just kill the Vi every time. And now it's looked like CLG, and hey, we'll have to see, right?
Yep.
So that's going to be up for the teams to do their prep work, to actually